from iplongno. We'll see how that one's going. All right, but congrats on Burgun. So it looks like, Boxer, we're going to have to take a look at Huru. I expect the way that these deck lists are and the way that the players are in Eternal, I would imagine that we're probably going to see some Huru decks here on Tuesday. Although Huru also, that deck seems like the type of deck that you need to put some reps in with. So I'm not sure a lot of people are going to be able to grab that and play it to the same success that Burgun has here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a deck you can, pick up 15 minutes before a tournament.
Yeah, exactly. All right, iplongno is down a game here. So our number 5 player is down 1 game. So johnkkez is up 1 here. I will update the overlay.
We see some influence problems for iplongno. That Diana cannot be played yet.
All right, here comes a Deathwing here for iplongno. And as you said, they are one justice short of playing that Diana. But they do have a Know Thy Enemy, Ascendant Agent, a Treasure Trove, and a Roa in hand. So still pretty good here. We've also seen this this Valkyrie site do a lot. Lord Stayer's Tower has been a pretty sweet card here today for a lot of players.
Yeah, that's a safe craft, I think.
Yeah. All right, let me 1 minute. I'm gonna try to. I gotta add John here to get their hand cam. So bear with me for a moment as I try to see what's going on John's side here.
Curfew Enforcement does a good job stopping your opponent's tower from attacking, or the Valkyries from your opponent's tower from attacking yours. I've been impressed by how much Enforcement has done. Most sites have a bad mode that you won't, you use it last. It doesn't really do much, but that doesn't really seem to be the case for Tower. All 3 modes can be pretty impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, John's hand. John's got a lot in hand, Boxer. He's got Hammer of Authority, Roland, Backbreaker number 2, Treasure Trove, and a backup tower. So lots of gas still coming on John's hand. Both players seem to have a ton in hand here. So we'll see how this goes. But the double Backbreaker, the Roland, the Hammer, and then another sight to back it up. Pretty strong hand here for John. Now they
No
are only
power,
on 4.
though.
Yeah, only on 4 power. They do have the influence to play Roland, but you're right that they do not have the power to play their 5 or 6 drops quite yet. Builder's Decree here.
Probably just gonna, I don't know. It's funny to say this, but like a lot of the things you could Builder's Decree aren't going to be that scary to begin with right now. Like, it might not even do anything on Backbreaker.
Yeah, they're going to hit the Hammer here. So they took out Hammer. And there's the 4th Justice for Diana. And it looks like iplongno is going to be able to fire off this ultimate on their site and get this Rhoda here. Let's see if John can stop that from happening.
So that decree on the Hammer is smart because you may think that, oh, I have sent an agent, but Hammer stops you from playing fast spells on your opponent's turn.
That's true.
So Hammer could have opened up an attack on.
And this is going to be big. So chump blocking the Roland and then actually keeps the Send an Agent to knock out that pumped up Valkyrie. It will give a death a deadly Valkyrie to John, but it allows iplongno to ultimate their site here and get that 6/6. So that is huge for iplongno. That's a big advantage for them here. And now they get to start their turn with full power and a ton of options, including Diana if they want it, because now they have that 4th Justice influence.
I think they probably just want to play Anaris and draw 2 cards that seem. Oh.
All right, and there is Diana. They're going to draw a Desert Alchemist and a backup tower.
John's able to draw some more
John
power.
drew,
That
yeah, John drew
backbreaker.
a power, but it is a Seed of Vengeance, so it's going to come in depleted here. It's a little awkward
It
there.
might be. Yeah, that's kind of slow, and that Rhoda punishes you for just playing your cards.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, actually, it's the opposite. I had that wrong. No, Rhoda's better when you're not playing your card.
Right. Keeps you even. Yep. But yeah, so the Rhoda could attack, but you got to get that 1/1 deadly off of the board if Rhoda wants to start putting in damage. Now iplongno obviously has options for that. iplongno also has this Know Thy Enemy. It's not really great, not what they want in the face of double Roland, but they do have that in their back pocket if they need to at some point. Another Diana off the top here. They've also got that Merchant, so they can get Equalize, Anguish, Tiana the Mender, Reality Warden, and Svetya from the board if they wanted to, from the market.
It's interesting that they didn't opt for a market option that kills Roland. Uh, you see From Anguish and you see Equalize as removal in the market, but neither of those deal with these Rolands.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point for Tuesday night. For those of you watching and going to take some of these deck lists to Expedition, we've seen a lot of Rolands, we've seen a lot of sites. So if this is a matchup that you're expecting, make sure you're prepared for being able to answer these things. As you said at the start of the broadcast, just so many interesting deck building decisions with this new Expedition format. So many things to think about. All right, iplongno are going to fire off their backup site here to reset the clock on that. They're going to fire off Curfew Enforcement, and that does allow attacks through because it actually shrinks the power of the deadly Valkyrie by 1, meaning that deadly damage does not come through, freeing up attacks with all their units.
The site will survive, but this will clear out a lot of the blockers. Now John's just trying to figure out, do I want to block with 2 or 3 of these? And blocking with the 0/1 Justice Valkyries is smart because those cost 1. The Roland Valkyries cost 3. It's not inconceivable for iplongno to get a Roland in play and then play a Know Thy Enemy, and you want your units to cost 3 or more then.
All right, here's the Curfew Enforcement on the other side, followed up by an Exploit for John. Oof, again, lots of options to take here. Diana's probably the most individually powerful card, but you can also take the Merchant to stop them from accessing their market, and then, of course, the Roa to sort of get a big body that resets health. So, they're going to take the Desert Marshal. Okay. I guess they want to avoid that deadly. Here comes Hammer.
I guess this is opening up an attack on the site.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, because this will, by taking out the Desert Marshal and then taking out that unit, it will allow you to kill the site and actually, Kill site clean. No reason for iplongno to block there. Just let that site go down. Another merchant off the top.
No enemy has felt kind of lackluster compared to last format. We saw it do a ton of work at Worlds, but when you don't have display of vision, you don't have petition, it's harder to go up on resources, and so you'll end up with less power in play, and you're not amplifying it 4 times. You're doing it maybe once or twice now.
Yep. Okay, iplongno are going to grab equalize from the market. Now, equalize on this board doesn't seem great, but maybe for future turns they can use that. Now, equalize does see, not that they would have to sack the Rolands, but if John had to sack the Rolands, equalize would still see the Rolands dying and would still create those Valkyries, correct?
Yes.
All right, so John's going to ultimate that tower, and they're going to get a 6/6 Rhoda of their own. So we've got a little bit of a stalemate here. But John's going to follow up with another tower.
Interesting to see how much John attacks with here, because you saw iplongno go to the market. Equalize is in their market. Equalize isn't doing much right now. And attacking allows them to just jump block and make it do something. And they're not, iplongno has a lot of health. You're not closing the game quickly. We might just see John leave back what would otherwise be some good attacks.
And it looks like this one may have been warped, so it looks like they're going to get two spells here. Yep, they're going to make the two Valks, and then they're going to give +4/+4 to the Roland, and follow up with a Bartolo's Keepsake. And remember, they do still have a 4/11 hammer as well, which can take out the Diana, could take out one of the merchants. Lots of options for that.
Yeah, this is John's game to lose at this point, I think. Diana Ultimate can be scary, but
a little far
6
from
is
that,
a long ways from 12.
Quite a ways until that's happening. I think John is hoping that a lot of things will change and maybe even end the game before we get there. All right, well, John's got a pretty full board here, but definitely being cautious, making sure that they're not throwing away their value here. Oh, interesting. You see what iplongno's doing here? They're lining up a triple block against this Roland, not to kill the Roland, but to kill their units.
Yeah, this is a smart play.
So that the equalize has more value. Heads up play there by iplongno. No, send an agent here. So you could combine send an agent equalize. Yep. Gonna kill the hammer. All right, so what do you keep if you're John? The two Rolands or maybe the Rhoda?
So an interesting play yeah, I think you keep the Rolands.
Well, if you keep the Rolands, the site dies, correct?
Oh yeah, never. Yeah, you keep the Rhoda. You keep Rhoda and Roland.
Yeah, you keep Rhoda and then the 6/10 Roland maybe.
Yeah.
This is a big block there. Smart play by iplongno there to equalize the board here.
And now they can clear the site out.
They
by playing
can
that
because
from Anguish.
because the From Anguish heads up, and now they were able to take care of the Rhoda and clear that out. Now they still are facing down a 6-10 Roland, but and they get to draw a card to boot because of Rhoda's ability.
Some really tight play there. They knew how they were getting out of it, and they played to that out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, but John's going to follow up with a big weapon. That's going to take care of the Rhoda and let Roland attack freely here. iplongno can warp a Deathwing off the top.
Yeah, I like that because know the enemy, playing it for one isn't going to do it, especially when you know one of the cards you'll see is Deathwing.
Yeah, unfortunately, the weapon can still just take that out cleanly and allow Roland to go through and get an extra Valkyrie for that kill anyway, but not really an option. You had to do that. And then Svetya is going to, well, Svetya to prevent the, to the end of your next turn. Svetya says end of your next turn, so even though it's not his turn anymore, still couldn't play the Desert Alchemist. And now John's taken over, and iplongno is going to toss that in. Okay, so johnkkez is going to take that, and they're going to go to the finals. So congratulations to John.